I was so excited to be able to bring to a conclusion our event today with a millennial, because since I've been here and I first met Terrell Dugan and heard some of the stories of our founding parents, where one of my dearest friends, Donna Adams, who's 94, two kids in our program, started this program. She lived in a world where her local pastor wouldn't let her kids come to church. She lived in a world where the children next door, their parents wouldn't let them come and play with her children. She lived in a world where she had to start Columbus so both of her children could continue their education and be part of the world. And so I'm very deeply moved by that. And then as I've been at Columbus in the last 15 years, I've learned what the service cliff is. We have two generations that are post-ADA. They've gone to school with kids with disabilities, and when all these kids get out of school, we see kids without disabilities going on and really not getting caught up in that cycle of poverty that we've talked about. And we see these wonderful young adults, these 20 and 30-year-olds who are really just, their options aren't there. It's the service cliff. Their parents don't know what to do. They don't know what to do to kind of get to the next step. In the end, this is always a family issue, and the community around us has to help every family. So I was really thrilled to be introduced to the Woodbury family and to invite Michael Woodbury to come up and share his story with us. He's a millennial. He has a wonderful story to tell. He's finished his degree in mass communication, so I challenged him to get up here and show me what he learned in college about mass communication, and to really share his story, because he's the generation we want to embrace. He's the generation and his peers that we want to bring into employment, out of poverty. We want to support their families, and we want to see success. And as Mike Jury said at the beginning, even though we have our qualms about pork tariffs as of today, we have a great economy. We have a low unemployment rate, and we have a lot of good philanthropy, social impact investing going on. And so now's the opportunity to really make a difference for those upcoming generations. I also want to quickly mention that this is a family affair. Michael's mother's written a book, and you each have a copy on the table that you can take home with you, raising 4 children with a very rare disorder of muscular dystrophy, DM1, right? And their family, I think, is very inspirational for all of us, but I think Michael's story is going to be particularly inspirational. So if you'd like to join us, Michael, with your speech.
Hello. My name is Michael Woodbury. Let me tell you about myself. I was born in February 1983. That makes me a dreaded millennial, which brings us to the title of my speech: Disabled, Unemployed, and a Millennial. 3 strikes, but are you out?
No, of course not out. I've actually not a game. It's definitely not baseball.
Though sometimes life can feel like a game, most notably, the game of life, but no, you are not out. Thank you. No, but seriously, it would be easy to end it there, but I have 15 minutes to fill. Why am I not out? Why isn't everyone else out? Well, let me ask you, are you awesome by show of hands? Who out there is awesome? Put those hands up. Put your hands up. I need more hands. Who here didn't raise your hand? Everyone in this room is amazing, incredible, whatever word you want to use. Every one of you is unique, just like everyone else. In my book that makes you pretty awesome, not to be confused with the book my mom wrote, that's totally different. Living with DM1, my family's story and back now, of course, I'm more awesome than you are, but, sadly, we can't all be named Michael. We are all awesome. We all have so much to offer. Just get to know anyone disabled, and you will see that they have many skills which can be valuable in the workforce. My disability mimics Asperger's, but also makes me very meticulous. I know that meticulousness is a valued skill in the workplace.
I'm unemployed.
The biggest reason for that is not because I've never had a job. I have had a job, one whole job. The biggest reason is because I don't totally know what I want to do. That's not a bad thing. It's impressive if you have only had one job in your whole life and you enjoy that job. My dad had 7 jobs before he got his current job that he has been at for 33 years, but we're not talking about him. Many of the disabled are told that they will never get a good job. I can't tell you the sense of pride I felt when I got my job. I was an editor and grader of AP high school essays. I got to set my own hours. I got to work from home. And I got paid $10 an hour.
Mwah.
I think that's a pretty sweet deal for my first job. However, I realized after 3 months that I did not want that job. I did not want to be mean to the students. So I tried to comment about the papers mentioning both the good and the bad. This caused me stress. I was spending 15 to 20 minutes on each paper. I had to grade 160 papers per week. That's over 50 hours in a week. In addition, I was working from home. I am a very social person. I had gotten this job hoping that it would give me a larger social circle. Working from home does nothing for your social circle.
I was actually lead when I left that job.
Millennials are sometimes thought of as lazy. I can be seen as lazy, but that's not because I am a millennial. That's because I have myotonic muscular dystrophy and sleep apnea. My younger brother has sleep apnea, but he ignores how sleepy he is for his job. His job is one of his favorite things in his life. Some people think that the disabled would rather just stay at home all day, watching television, playing their video games, etc., that they would be content living off Social Security. But would we really? I have a genetic disorder which affects my speech, but I have found a workaround.
If someone stood in a crowd and raised his voice way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg, you notice him. If someone in a movie show yelled fire in the second row, his whole place is a powder keg, you notice him. And he was out looking like a hen. Everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that person should be invisible, inconsequential, me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, as you look right through me, walk right by me. I never know I'm there, I'll tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me. I never know I'm there. Suppose you was a little cat and living in a double flat. His higher vision has 2 years, you notice him. Suppose you were a woman wed and sleeping in a double bed. His higher man for 7 years, you notice him. A human being is made of more than air, with all that book, better see him there. Unless that human being next to you is unimportant, undistinguished, you know who. Should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me. I never know I'm there, I'll tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me. I never know I'm there, never even know I'm there.
That song means a lot to me because I have felt invisible at varying times throughout my life. Honestly, who hasn't? Everyone has times when they feel ignored. I feel I'm easier to ignore than some because I'm harder to understand. Everyone has times when they feel they weren't fully appreciated. It is not exclusive to just one individual, but sometimes I feel like it is exclusive to me.
Do we all wish we could stay at home though? Do we have hobbies?
Doesn't everyone wish they had more free time? I have tried that. It's not something I'm necessarily proud of, and having all the free time in the world sucks. Hear me out. If you could stay at home all day and made money for doing nothing, most of your motivation to do much of anything is gone. It's just as the old adage says, if you want something done, ask a busy person. I don't like the idea of piling more on a person's plate. That would make me stress out, but it's better than being underworked. Plus, if you stay home all day, your sunlight intake is lessened, and that can easily lead to depression. I may be disabled, but I am good in bed. I can sleep for hours. I think that's a pretty sweet deal for my first job. However, I realized, hello, my name is Michael. What is your dog's name?
Sorry, mistake there.
I've experienced a lot of depression and I finally realized that I need more in my life. Right now that more is a job. I believe that a job can make me more content or happy than I currently am.
Philosophers think the goal of life is happiness.
Happiness is hard to define, but if we equate it with reaching important goals, flourishing, contentment, relative lack of anxiety, etc., can studying and employment help reach this state in life? I wrote a paper about this as an assignment in college and it seemed it was intended to be a simple enough question, but there is so much more to this question in my life than many people may know. My muscular dystrophy adds a whole new element to the mix of reaching the state of happiness. How can you tell if someone seems happy or content? It usually shows in their body and/or face, right? If your emotions didn't show what people know when you are happy, if you didn't look confident and happy, would anyone think that you had a fulfilled life? To many people, these questions might seem to be nonsense, but in my life, they are perfectly reasonable concerns.
My dystrophy causes that effect.
Flat affect causes everyone with this dystrophy to show little or no emotion. I have had to force myself to laugh more freely. At first I was faking it, but if you do something enough it becomes a part of who you are. Now my laugh is more common and sincere. However, who wants to practice seeming mad, sad, depressed or a myriad of other negative emotions? I seem to have only two emotions to the world, neutral and happy, and it can often take a lot to get me to smile.
Disabled people can be difficult to employ because they're different or hard to understand.
Disabled people can be difficult to work with because they are hard to understand, have a learning disability, have poor muscle tone, they look different, or many other reasons.
Oh,
I understand that well. I understand that some people feel uncomfortable around the disabled. However, I believe that there is at least one job, if not more, that each individual could do and would be happy with. My disability makes it hard for me to build muscles, makes my gait noticeably different from the average person's gait, causes sleep apnea, affects my executive functioning, especially when it comes to decision making, and it causes many other difficulties.
My disability does not make me less than.
It just makes me more noticeably unique than some. You can read more about me in my mom's book, Living with DM1, my family story. It includes words and pictures. What more could you want?
Thank you.
Okay. That's a hard one to follow. I had some notes to bring the event to an end, but I might cry. That might be the note. This is a remarkable event. I want to thank everybody who's attended today. We've had people from all over the country come. We have people from many different backgrounds who are here today. I think the note that I would like to leave this on is that it starts with the family. It starts with love and compassion. It's telling the young Callister family that their 2-year-old has a future. It's reminding Michael and his family that he has a future. It's a call to action to employers, people in the workforce, to remember that people with disabilities can work. Our identity comes from work, from the minute we start doing chores at home. And we don't want to deny anybody that. And then we look at it through an economic lens, and our whole economy's better when we put people to work. 1 in 11 adults is not working. I always say in a room this size where we have about 100 people, there's 11 people not in this room because they have a disability, but they're perfectly capable of working. So my call to action is, again, love and care for the family and the neighbor. Encourage everybody in our community to connect the dots. Let's think forward. Let's be innovative. Let's be entrepreneurial. Let's embrace Jim Sorensen's message about being groundbreaking into the future. And let's continue this conversation today, tomorrow, and next year. And take some time today to just meet and greet if you haven't talked to some people that you want to talk to. And, let's make this world a better place. Mike Drury started off with that message. Things couldn't be much better right now, really, in our economy and unemployment and in philanthropy. And I think we can all come together and make things work. Some housekeeping. We have 2 breakout sessions that we'd like you to attend, if possible. The Utah Business Leadership Network. We're going to have a breakout session in our other building across the parking lot. Everything you ever wanted to know about employing people with disabilities, but we're afraid to ask. Closed door session. You can talk to a couple of experts. Leah Lobato and Ryan Nelson will be there to facilitate that. We'll close the door and you can ask those questions. Our Pay for Success team, very much cutting edge work that they're doing. They'll be available. You'll see some signs in the other building. You can go down and have a one-on-one with them. And again, I want to thank all the speakers who came here today, all the fabulous ideas, all of our sponsors and all the people behind the scenes who really made this work and are really committed to, as we finish our 50th year at Columbus, I hope that in another 50 years that we see as much change as we've seen in the last 50 years. And it's a long haul ahead of us, but we're going to change the world. We've known people have, and we'll keep doing it. So thank you.